What up, what up, what up, what up, though? Detroit Lions fans, it's your boy, Motor City Don P, Motor City Cats, back at it. Came to give you stats, not static. Whatever you do, make sure you keep your Lions news pragmatic. Today, we are hopefully going to be joined by a special guest, Easy. You know, he's a hard guy to track down, but it is what it is. We have confirmed that he should be here. So whenever he gets here, we will get started with the talk. So before we get started with that talk, I just want to ask you guys a question. You know, there was the friend of the friend who got called by the friend who said that Brad Holmes has picked up that phone and called the Cleveland Browns. Does that mean anything? Is it a surprise to anybody that Brad Holmes has inquired? I wasn't shocked. I don't know why a GM of any of the 32 teams in the NFL, I mean, other than the Browns, right? So any of the 31 other teams and their GMs, I would expect them to call, right? What up, though? Here's Johnny. So we would expect them to call and all that stuff. I don't know. What do you guys think? Yes, he heard from the player to be named later. I don't know who the player was, but I wasn't surprised. I wasn't shocked. Called Cleveland for Emerson. That wasn't what they said. They said they called about Myles Garrett. Yeah, Eagles fans are gonna do that. Hold on, I'm getting the confirmation. What up, though, J-Rod? All right, so Easy should be here momentarily. So let's shoot the poop, man. Let's shoot the poop. So as I said, what do you guys think about that? Do you think that there's any credence? Because there was the same friend said something about AG was to the Saints was a done deal. That didn't happen. BH just called to check on any available injured players. That's wild. He may have been like, yeah, what y'all gonna do on that Myles thing? Okay. Is he available? Is he not available? He's not gonna. Okay. Y'all saying that right now. Okay, you looking for offers? All right. So while I got you on the phone, hold on. You got any injured players I can get off the scrap heap? I heard it was Emerson and Myles. I heard that they are pretty much sure that CD3 is gone. Ooh, that's not good. That's not good. Where did you hear that they're sure that CD3 is gone? What is your source? Other channels? Well, I don't know. I'll wait for some Ian Rappaport or some Adam Schefter to say that CD3 is really gone. All I know is that at the end of the year press conference, Brad Holmes spoke glowingly about CD3 and wanting him to come back for sure. Obviously, it depends on the player and the player's agent, but Brad Holmes for sure would like for CD3 to be back here, and he's willing to re-sign him. Didn't hear that. Just heard Emerson for depth. How many years has Emerson been in the league? I'm gonna tell you, I don't know too much about him because I don't. The Browns are not. Yeah, the Browns are the Browns. I didn't ignore your comment. I read it. I heard from my dog who spoke to a neighbor's dog that Brad Holmes believes in supporting the handicap. That's wild. Heard that San Francisco and other teams. I think the list of teams was like the Jaguars. Who was it? Jaguars, Raiders, 49ers are on there, but only one team is gonna win, and that's the Lions. And you could say, well, whatever is happening with San Francisco, we don't know. Debo is trying to get traded. We don't know what's happening with the Purdy contract. Christian McCaffrey is always injured, so who knows what happens with San Francisco. Emerson's 5th year. Emerson is 24. I mean, is he better than Terrion? I mean, that's all I want to know. No, I'm not scared to play the Eagles next season, especially if we get Myles Garrett. I won't be afraid of anybody. But as long as we attack the defensive line, then I'll be happy with the offseason. If you were to get a Khalil Mack in here, if you were to sign, or if you were to trade for Myles Garrett, or if you were to become fortunate and somebody falls in the draft and they fall in your lap, it's going to be hard for somebody to fall in your lap at 28. You're probably going to have to go up and get them. So that's not going to be a lap fall. But if they address the biggest hole, the biggest need that we have right now, then yeah, I'll be glad about this offseason, and I'll be very optimistic about next season. We have a lot of tough road games next year. Like, we have the toughest road schedule on paper because, generally when you look at schedules, teams are unexpectedly better, teams are unexpectedly worse, teams are what you thought that they would be, what you did expect. So there's a mixture of things. So as long as they do what I'm asking them to do, which is attack the D line and get starters and depth pieces, then I'll be fine with next season. If CD3 leaves, we're gonna need another cornerback too, but we have to get a DE. Ain't no way Brad doesn't get one. Yeah, CD3 definitely needs to resign, man. Because if we draft another corner in the first round, Lions need to address injury prevention better. Like a lot of the major things were freak accidents. You know, if you look at the Davenport injury, and I'm not defending that man at all being injured, but his injury wasn't like a normal injury. But I feel like if it hadn't been that, it would have been something else. So don't get me wrong there. The Carlton Davis thing, we don't know how he got his jaw broken. We just really don't. That's not really a football injury. It's more like a hockey injury. Aleem McNeil, yep, non-contact, jumping off 1 foot and landing on it at Ford Field. Aidan Hutchinson, we know that was a freak injury as well. So I don't know. I don't know how you bolster your injury prevention regimen. Milk and high quality H2O. Okay. Vildor to the Jets. Emmanuel Mosley, not sure. We'll need depth. I mean, we can sign depth in free agency. That's what, fill the holes. Oh, okay. Okay. One way we can save money is to get rid of Project Pat Martin. 100%. Kay says it's Valentine's Day and Chef is ignoring me. I didn't know you were my Valentine, Kay. All right, so Easy, just hit me up. He will be here momentarily. D-line, 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 D-line. Because I spit out fire. Again, that playoff elimination was something different, but you know what I mean? What up, though? The Ronin 99. We just waiting for Easy to come on in and we will get this party started. We are chopping up the chop up. We are shooting the poop right now. Are you getting all the way in the 7th round pick? You are really into the mocking right now, huh? Speaking of which, we do need 2 more. We just need 2 more super chats to reach the goal of 20 before we can schedule the live mock draft. Then y'all can see, get my GM hat on and we'll see what we do. But I need to kind of look at some film first. I'm not sure how Broderick keeps making the team because he's a project player. I mean, look at James Mitchell. James Mitchell made the team every year until I think he got cut this year in training camp. 1 more to go. Appreciate you, Tactical Sport. We've got 1 more to go. Who shall it be? Also, I do have an announcement. So it probably won't be on Monday that we do this. If we get it today, Mondays, and I'm trying to figure out how to do it. I believe I can do it. Mondays, I will be moving my stream to LNU. Just Mondays, like not my entire thing. Just on Mondays, like every Monday, same time. It will just be Lions Nation Unite. So obviously, I'll have a larger audience over there. I am going to try to figure out a way to stream it both there and here. I don't know if that's possible, but I'm doing some research trying to figure out a way Just a fan comes through. Just a fan comes through, and we hit our goal of 20 super chats. So we will probably do that live stream. Maybe even next Friday. Yeah, that would probably be good. Let's schedule the mock draft for next Friday. Everyone seems to be in here looser. It's Saturday for me, so that'll be easier. Yeah, so let's do it next Friday. That is the schedule when we shall get that popping. Jack McMutry says hi there. How are all of you guys tonight? We are doing pretty good. What up though, Jack McMutry? Mercury. My bad. The Ronin 99 has turned 99 today. I'm sorry. I'm just playing. I'm playing. But the Ronin is a legend. You are getting older. You're getting up there, my friend. And it's a blessing to still be here. So, Fish Station. All right. You get that. Age ain't nothing but a number. Okay, anyway, y'all got it. That's right. Don't forget to smash that like button. Don't forget to if you're in the chat and you can't speak, that's because I got the subscribers on. So make sure you subscribe and then you'll be able to join the chat. It is a blessing. Consider the alternative. Well, yeah, that's it. That's it. Also share. I should share too. I didn't do that. Let me go ahead and do that. Let me go ahead and do that. Put my hashtags in. Oh, this craziness. I didn't even talk about this thing. Stephon Diggs, come on, bro. Come on, bro. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing with the Stephon Diggs? I told y'all that Stephon Diggs was going to destroy Houston's locker room because he was a cancer. Like, why would we, as human beings, sign Stephon Diggs? We're a football team that's trying to win a Super Bowl. Stephon Diggs is not a winning player. Stephon Diggs is not a winning player. He is a cancer, locker room cancer. Also, from some other things that I've heard, not a good human being by any stretch of the words or imagination. So, no to Stephon Diggs at all. Like every time there's a receiver, they're just like, hey, the Lions could use him. Why? Why could we use Stephon Diggs? Someone tell me why we could use Stephon Diggs. Other than, what was it, the miracle in Minnesota or whatever? Diggs' proposal is silly, plus the money, plus the cancer. That's right. No thanks. He's a DB, and I don't think you mean defensive back, J-Rod. I feel you. All right, the Ronin, I gotta do it. I gotta do it. All right, and we're gonna do this before Easy gets on. All right, y'all ready? Because the Ronin 99 says death is old. Let me put it on here. He says death is old, so till then, party like a rock star, but take your meds. So I'm gonna have to get it in. Are y'all ready? Sing along if you know the words. I was dreaming when I wrote this. Forgive me if it goes astray. But when I woke up this morning, could have sworn it was Judgment Day. Y'all ready? Put your hands together. The sky was all purple. There were people running everywhere, trying to run from the destruction. You know I didn't even care. Say 2000 party over. Oops, out of time. So tonight I'm gonna party like it's 1999. All right. And Easy has arrived. I told you he was gonna do it before he arrived. And there we go. All right. Easy, can you hear me? Let me see if you can hear me. Testing. All right, he's there, but he can't hear me yet. All right. You gonna party like it's 2099. Well, I guess 1999 is old and outdated. J-Rod, I wasn't really trying to sing it. You know, I got the pipes. I can sing. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody got the pipes. I still got the pipes. Bing. Hashtag if you know, you know. Use the hashtag. Nobody got the pipes like Eddie Kane Jr. So he's in the house, but I can't hear him yet. Hold on. That's a lot of kids. Jack McMurtry says, my last name is hard to pronounce. If you're not used to saying it, I really like doing podcasting. It's fun. I enjoy it. Well, I appreciate you coming through. So drop your channel in the chat and we'll go ahead and give you a follow, give you a subscribe. Check.
Yo.
Microphone checker.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Microphone checker like your name was Taylor Decker.
What up, though?
What up, though? Easy is in the house, people. Everybody give a round of applause. And I really need to start pulling up my soundboard. I have applause, but I don't have my soundboard up. So, all right. So we gave him the round of applause. Easy is here. All right. Easy has joined the stage. You know, got below Kevin Hart. Whatchamacallit? You know, my bell or my air horn. There you go. What up, though, man?
What up, man?
Man, just chilling. We up here talking about stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and get it started. Easy is here to do the part D of the Lions season in review. We're going to be talking about what we think and thought about the moves. And I already know that there's going to be some contention on one of these moves because I saw him being contentious today and I got a bone to pick with him. So stay tuned for that. But let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. Um, let's go with a soft roll. We'll start with a soft roll. The DJ Reader move. What did you think about that? Give it a letter grade, and what do you think the impact was on the Detroit Lions?
I'm gonna go with a B plus, B plus. I don't know that he was as efficient of a run defender as I expected bringing him in,
Mm-hmm.
but he definitely, for some reason, weirdly enough, oddly enough, has best pass rushing season. So gotta give him kudos for that. But yeah, I say B plus.
Yeah, that was definitely some strange stuff, right? Because Kevin Zeitler came in here and he wasn't supposed to be a great run
Blocker.
blocker,
Yeah,
right? Yeah, and he
yeah,
was
that's
a
weird.
better run blocker than Jonah Jackson. Imagine. Um, I'm so at the time we did give it an A plus because I was one of those people that said you need to lock him in Allen Park and don't let him go anywhere. And we heard the story; they didn't book him a return flight and didn't let him go nowhere. Um, I, I'm gonna stick with an A because of a few things. Yes, he wasn't what we thought he was gonna be as a run defender, but also our defensive line wasn't whole. It was just kind of him and Aleem in the middle, and that was it until the Buffalo game, and then that was it. It was just him. So I'll leave it at an A. I think they were. I think all of them, and this is something that I hope Shep can fix. I think they were pretty bad as a whole defensive line, um, staying in their rushing lanes. You saw that in week number 2 when we were playing the
Baker.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and he just kept, you know, just he just kept escaping, and I'm like, is someone gonna clog up the middle so he can't step up? So I think they were all pretty bad at that. I think we need some more attention to detail for that, but I'm gonna keep it at an A for DJ Reader. Play along in the chat, sing along if you know the words. Give us your letter grades as well. We will read some of your comments. Easy, I've reached my super chat goal of 20 super chats, so I am going to be doing a mock draft live on air. It is my first mock draft ever. I am not a mock drafter. You got any pointers for me?
So how you doing the mock draft? You doing it just as a Lions, or are you doing 1 through 32?
So I'm gonna do it as a Lions. The 1 through 32. Again, people have to nail down their spots. And I think maybe as we go further along in the draft process, more people will nail down their spots. I know Tactical Sport is going to come in and represent the Chicago Bears. Since our resident Bears fan is banned from my channel because he's a flaming racist. But anyway,
Whoa, who's
yeah,
that?
that would be Broski Bear up in here talking about what did he say? Grape soda, chicken. I said I was gonna go get some snacks during the Super Bowl halftime, and he said get some grape soda and some fried chicken. So then when I came back, I was like, oh, that was racist of you. So I came back and I was like, yep, I was showing the people I got the Mike and Ike's and stuff because we got they got American snacks and stuff down the street from my house. So he was like, oh, did you get your okra and black eyed peas? So I was
Yo,
yeah, so we had a little bit of an exchange. I let him know that that wasn't cool, and if I found out he was white, he was going to be blocked. And then Tactical Sport blocked him, and I just blocked him from the channel. I was like, that's it. So, if you see Broski Bear, if he follows you on Twitter, block him. All right. So
that's
you
crazy.
said because I'm just going as a Lion. So how do we do this?
Um. So let me get straight. You're doing 1 through 32, but as the Lions.
So the 1 through 32 will be later on in the draft process. I'm gonna have 32 members of the chat. I'm just gonna be Roger Goodell. And I know that there's a site that you can go to and everybody can represent one team and they can do their draft live. So we're gonna do that. And the chat will be doing that, and I'll just be announcing the picks. But for me, yes, I'm just doing the Lions myself for this one, for this first one.
Sorry, you swallowing something.
Yeah. Pause.
Some cirrhosis. I only got advice, to be honest with you. You just got to kind of just do it. So you got to go through it a few times, and you start getting familiar with the names. I would do like 3 times before you did it on air.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
Yeah, I'm probably drafting all defensive line, F everything else. All right, let's move on to the next one, and we'll just go ahead and jump off on this one because when I did this with Derek, he did do this one early, and we'll do this one early too. Marcus Davenport, go ahead and give us your grade.
Yes, this one's weird. When healthy, I liked what he offered, but obviously he got hurt fairly soon. I think it's a little bit more of a freak injury than like one of those like, oh, he's always injured type things. So honestly, I gotta go with like a C. I think as a player, when available, he was as advertised when you heard all the good things about him, and it's unfortunate what happened to him. Is a little bit of a looked like a dirty play, but I guess it's kind of routine or not. It's not out of the ordinary. But if you go back and watch the way he got injured, somebody literally took his arm and they like ripped his bicep down, or his tricep down, and then boom, tricep torn. He did miss a game before that though. I believe it was a groin injury. But yeah, I'm gonna go C.
Now, I just want to let you know before I launch here, I know all the things that you said. I understand. I know all the games he played. I know his stats. He had a half a sack in 2 games
against the Rams. Yep.
I know all of that. He got consistent pressure on Matthew Stafford. He got his hands on him a couple times, and he got the half a sack. I'm giving it every F possible because I said consistently that I believed greatly in his ability, but I had zero trust, zero faith, no belief in his ability to stay healthy. Now, yes, it was a dirty play, but if it hadn't been that, it would have been something else. This is a man that was coming off of five off-season surgeries. 5.
You can't say it's going to be something else like that if it happens on a dirty play.
Well, track record is he's got the label of injury prone, and he did nothing to dissuade us from believing that he should keep that label. And then here's the other thing. This happened to him in week number 3, right?
I think it was 4. I could be wrong.
It was number 3 against the Cardinals. Because it was Paris Campbell or whatever his name. Paris, yeah.
Oh, so he didn't miss any game before then. I don't know what Nick was talking about.
He did. He missed week 2. He didn't play against the Buccaneers. Because that was the thing. I was surprised. I was like, I didn't see him leave the game in week 1. I thought he got through unscathed. Like, I literally was checking to see how he got through the game, finished the game. Like, what was his status during the game? I thought so. You know what Marcus Davenport was like for me? He plays game number 1 and then he gets nicked in game number 1 somehow, and then he winds up on the injury report for the rest of the year. Now, he didn't wind up on the injury report; he was just out. but this would reminded me of DeAndre Swift. It was very DeAndre Swiftian of him to get injured in the first game and be hindered by that injury for the rest of the year. Now it wasn't that injury, it was something else that happened to him, but it was the same type of thing. But Swift would miss a game here, miss a game there, nagging because he got a shoulder injury, or it was something with his toe, or his heel, or the middle of his foot, or his labia, or whatever the case may be. Okay, I didn't say that. All right.
Nah, that's a female body part. You know, let's play for the Bears, so we'll let it slide.
Did I say cervix? Did I say those things? I said something. All right, we'll let it slide though. But this is what it reminded me of, because you get hurt in game one and then you're not available for like at full strength for the rest of the year. So I was watching for that because, as I said, I didn't believe it. Like every time you make it through a game without being injured, to me, if you're Marcus Davenport, that's a win-win. He never won. He never won because he didn't make it through the game without injury week one. He had a groin injury or whatever. Then week two, he was out. Then week three, he goes out for the season. So this was like exactly what I thought would happen. I actually thought that he would play more than 2 games. But I did believe that at some point in the season, we would lose him for the entire season. So because I was banking on that, and because I was perplexed as to why you would sign him anyway with his injury history, that's why I'm giving it all the Fs.
Yeah, I mean this is coming from someone who took heat for not liking the signing. Obviously, as people like to deride in our fan base, and it's all right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean the injury is unfortunate. I guess I don't know. I guess I didn't like the initial signing, so I can't really defend
No,
him
I
too
didn't.
much.
I didn't either. I hated the initial signing.
Yeah,
But it was a big if. I was like, yeah, if he can stay healthy, he's gonna be a monster. But he can't.
yeah.
Now maybe the Minnesota Vikings fans were saying he was a bum and all this other stuff. Well, he's not a bum. He just can't stay healthy. When healthy, he is a monster. He's 6'6", 260. And he punches people in the face through their face masks, according to Lee McNeil. It's very, very, very violent. Okay.
He's off.
Yeah, he is. But no, that's an F signing for me. You shouldn't have signed him. And the reason that the bigger reason that it's an F is because he was your starting defensive end opposite Hutch. That's why it's an F. Because he was your starter, which means when you inevitably lost him, who'd you have? Josh Pascal? You feel me?
Fucking sucks. Brady's a
Now, am I making sense?
Yeah, he got hurt, man. I can't defend it.
I'm just saying that with him being with you put all your eggs in his basket. Pause. Okay, that wasn't the basket to put the eggs in. Now, if he was brought in here as a rotational piece and you had signed somebody else, and you gave him 3 snaps a game, I think he would have got through the season. 3 snaps a game. 3 snaps. I think it gets a bit dicey after 3. That's all I'm saying. All right. Let's move on to the next one. The next one, we will go with the trade for one Carlton Davis.
Yes. I would give that an A. I thought Carlton Davis was phenomenal. Yeah, there's a few times he got beat, but that's every corner, and he's not like one of the best. We would consider him like a top 5 guy. So yeah, that's gonna happen sometimes. He was very clutch in the Texans game. I think obviously I want to bring him back. It's not obvious, but if anyone didn't know, I want to bring him back, and I feel like that'd be a great mentor for Terrion Arnold, just because I was kind of concerned with Terrion Arnold's speed coming out of the draft. So I'm looking at some of the top end cornerbacks. I noticed none of them ran the 4.6 or 4.5, whatever the Terrion Arnold ran. And then here comes Carlton Davis, who is not super fast, but he's strong and lanky. And so I'm like, okay, well, this is a great guy for Terrion to learn from. But yeah, I want him to bring Carlton Davis back. I thought he was pretty phenomenal and when available.
Right.
For the most part. He's a great tackler, too.
Yeah, also. He was a good tackler. Yeah, I'm gonna give it the same grade. I think what's supposed to happen with the man press scheme is if you're disciplined enough with your hands and your feet, the speed is not really something that you're going to have to use a whole lot, because you're going to be able to disrupt the receivers off of the line. When I played corner, I was a press man corner, and I love to jam receivers and, disrupt them at the line, get them off of their route, mess up the timing and all that stuff. So I think that's what they were looking for with Terrion Arnold and with Carlton Davis. And we'll get to Terrion Arnold in a bit. But yeah, I think he was very valuable for this team. I think what he provided, not just on the field, but in the locker room as a mentor to the younger guys. And we still don't know what's going on with Ennis Rakestraw at all. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give that an A. I think it was pretty good. Just a Fan gives it a B plus. Why is that? And Tactical Sport gives him an a B minus.
Oh,
he said not because he didn't play good. His play was an A by itself. My grade is because we gave up draft capital for a 1-year loaner. All right. So do you give any credence to giving up draft capital for a 1-year loaner? This is why it was bad. Or not bad, but not as good as it could have been.
You got to re-sign him for the trade to make a little bit more sense. The 3rd round pick is, I feel like that's something you could throw on a first, go get Myles Garrett. And if you're not going to go get Myles Garrett, then yeah, you look like a fucking idiot for trading the 3rd round pick for a 1-year loaner. You got to re-sign Carlton Davis. I don't think we had Super Bowl aspirations. It's not necessarily Brad's fault that everybody went down. You can't really blame any singular person for that. So like, it still probably would have contributed to NFC Conference Championship game at the least had he stayed healthy along with everyone else. Maybe even a Super Bowl. So I can't really give credence to that. I'm gonna stick with my A.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think re-signing him is paramount. It's easy to say, let's bring somebody else in here and we don't need him and he's asking for too much money or whatever the case may be, but you don't know what someone is going to be when they come over from, another team. And as a Lions fan, we've dealt with that a whole lot. Like, give someone a huge contract and they are worth nothing. So we've seen Carlton Davis in the locker room. We've seen him in the scheme. We've seen him with the players. We see him in the culture. And he has embodied the culture. He's embodied the grit and all that stuff. So I think you bring him back for sure. Now, you can't give him whatever he's asking for, but you got to work out a deal.
Yeah.
And I believe he wants to come back too. So I think it'll be easier to work out a deal that way. All right. The next move. Stay in the secondary. Amik Robertson.
I think he was better outside than he was inside, like by far. Maybe it was a smaller sample size, and then against a guy that he was a favorable matchup in the sense that he is like more familiar with Justin Jefferson. They literally grew up together playing against each one another, so it kind of went in his favor in that game. But I'm gonna go. I also just love this dude's mentality too. So I'm gonna be a little biased. If everybody else wants to pull out the Gooner card for Jared Goff, I'll pull it out for Amik Robertson. I'm gonna go A minus.
All right. Here's Johnny in the chat gives him A minus as well.
I'll go B plus to be more because as a nickel he wasn't the greatest, but he was better outside, and I just love the attitude. I mean, I don't know. Is A minus? Am I tripping with the A minus? What do you?
No, no, you're
Okay,
not.
then I'll stick with that.
Uh, Tactical Spork says Amik is an easy A. Yes, I see what you did there because you said easy, right? I got you. Uh,
Hey,
the Rona 99 it says A plus. Uh, Justin Fan says great team guy A. I give it an A as well. The positional flexibility that he gave you. I think we already knew that when he was with the Raiders, he played outside. A lot of the national media seemed to believe that he was just a slot corner, so they were super duper surprised when he moved outside and he did well. Um, but that's the position he played with the Raiders. You know, we all know about the experiment where Gruden had him like, all right, gonna have you inside, and that didn't last too long. They drafted Nate Hobbs, and that was that. He was an outside corner. Um, when he was playing against the Packers and he picked off your boy Jordan Love to seal the game, he was guarding Christian Watson on the outside, not on the inside. So, but the positional flexibility that he gave us, where he started on the inside, but then when Carlton Davis moved or it was injured, he was able to kind of seamlessly move to the outside. I thought that was a fantastic value. Also, you talked about his mentality, the work ethic. He's got that underdog mentality. Um, because he got it out he got it out. He's from the mud. You know,
yeah.
I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all letting me come in and do what I knew I could do because they tried to bury me, dog. you
Can't
know,
bury what comes from the dirt.
that's right. So yeah, that was it. So the positional flex, all of that, the versatility. Also, very, very adept at punching the ball out. I think he had like 3 forced fumbles this year.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, he was part of that initial surge that we had in creating turnovers and all that. So I think he fit in very well on this team. So I am also going to give it an A. Let's see. Justin Fan says Easy's Valentine's is lover love. And I'm guessing you're talking about Jordan. All right. The next move that we have, and I
Hold on
don't.
1 second. I'm
All right,
sorry.
go ahead.
Oh, that's my neighbor. All right, I thought somebody was in my driveway. I'm tripping. I thought I was about to have to shoot somebody. I don't know what's going on.
Hey, I hope you get that thing on you. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? The next move that we're gonna go with is, let's see, where do we want to stay with the defense? All right, let's go to Kevin Zeitler.
A plus, easy A. And that's not even a play on my name. That kid was just he's not even a kid. He's older than me. He's phenomenal.
Yeah. Mhm.
Kevin Zeitler, yeah, we talked about it. He ended up being a better overall everything than Jones Jackson, who departed, and we were butthurt about in the run game. Zeitler was
Yeah.
amazing. I hope they bring him back.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with the A plus as well. I was pleasantly surprised that his contributions in the run game. Um, I was one of those people that was like, let Jonah walk. Don't bring him back. I was never on the train to bring him back. I guess I should pause that one. Yeah, but yeah, and then he went and got 17 million from the Rams to also miss a bunch of games. So yeah, that is definitely, and especially the contract. What did we give him? One year, 6 million.
What'd you say?
I said, especially with the
Yeah.
contract, what did we give him?
Yep.
1 year, 6 million.
6 million. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was definitely an A plus. All right. Jake Bates.
A plus.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. There was.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was kind of
He was one of those people that I gave a nickname to, and people wanted to call him Legatron. I'm like, why are y'all recycling old stuff? That's like Greg Zerline's name. No, he's not Legatron. He's definitely not Boom Boom Bates. That was a terrible nickname. It was ass. But I did call him Jake Bates Motel, because his leg is psycho. I'm batting 1,000. When we come up with the nicknames, I'm pretty much batting 1,000. Like, I don't miss.
I mean,
You know what I
nobody
mean?
else, nobody called him that. But I'll let you live this moment of glory. I'll let you called the electrician and it stuck. I was mad about it.
Exactly. Exactly. Until they went with the whole Sonic and Knuckles thing, which, whatever. That's more of a duo thing, but by himself he's the electrician. He moonlights as the electrician, by night. Sonic by day, the electrician by night. It is what it is. So yeah, Jake Bates, or Jake Bates Motel, very, very simply A plus. He was another guy just like DJ Reader. It was like, dude, lock him in the building. I like how he trolled the Packers by going over there and taking a meeting with them first. But yes, A plus for sure. I do think that they will probably redo his deal, and extend him further than that, because I think what he's got now, one more year. It was a 2-year deal. So yeah, I think he will be back extended this offseason.
Jake Bates.
Yeah, he was on a 2-year deal.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So they're gonna need to go ahead and drop some more years on that thing.
Dang, that's crazy, man. We talking about these contracts. I didn't even think about his situation.
Yeah. They'll get him right. I know Pride of Detroit had this thing like, should you bring Marvin? Why are you bringing Badgley back? It's not Marvin. That's a basketball player. Michael Badgley. Right. It's like, okay. No, thank you. Wish you well. Huh?
What's the price you think he gets?
Badgley or Bates?
Jake Bates.
I don't even know kicker contracts. I don't know what's I don't.
4 years, 25 million. Let's see.
What's Tug Dog getting?
Oh shoot, we even RIP. We didn't talk about them, man. It's like 6 million. So like
6 million.
That ain't too bad, I guess.
He's worth 6 million per year.
Yeah, that's not what he's on, but that's like what the highest paid kicker is. So
the highest paid. So
I'm assuming a market contract for Bates would probably be something like that.
I would say somewhere between 4 and 6.
Yeah,
that's where I would go with it. All right. The next move, is that all for the free agents? What we got? DJ Reader. We hit on. Well, I mean, Carlton Davis wasn't necessarily a free agent; he was a trade, but it's fine. So, Carlton Davis, DJ Reader, Amik Robertson, Jake Bates, Kevin Zeitler. So, are we missing anyone from those transactions?
No. No.
Okay. All right, let's get to the draft. Now we're just going to go in the order in which they were drafted. I will let you speak on the Terrion Arnold pick. Take the floor.
What? Say? Well, I'm so sorry, dude. I was
Terrion Arnold.
Okay. I mean, that's tough, man. I don't want to poop on this kid. I personally given myself the 3-year rule for Brad Holmes draft picks, just because we've seen that come to fruition so many times. I think this would be Broderick's 3rd year, so the clock's ticking for him. But Terrion, I don't want to poo-poo on it yet. I just don't. I do think obviously there were better corners to be drafted just in their first year. Obviously, Quinyon Mitchell being one. I was a fan of Nate Wiggins. Probably a little bit too small for our likings, though, to be honest with you, because we like guys that play the run. But he did. He's just a little skinny, and he did get hurt. In fairness to that, thought process. But Terrion is he's a project. It was a weak defensive class. That's why there was a defensive player drafted until around like 13, 14. That's when the first defensive player came off the board. It was like the longest streak of like offensive players being drafted in a row, if I'm not mistaken. So like, I don't want to poo-poo on Terrion. I'm not ready to poo-poo on Terrion. But if a rookie grade, just on his rookie
Mhm.
year, I'd have to give it like a C minus or C. It wasn't great. I think he was
Mhm.
in phase often, but not always, and he never got his head around. But that's something he could work on, and I'm not bashing the kid or saying that's what he is for the rest of his career. I think he could develop still. That it's just really, literally his rookie season. You know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I'm going
feel you.
C minus C. What about you?
And I'm not again not poo pooing. There was multiple levels of things that made me, and I'm not gonna say dislike the pick. I didn't care about the pick, and I'll say this. I've said this before. You want to talk about crash out Koloff?
Yeah,
I crashed out
you didn't like it.
when Jared. No.
Oh, oh, oh.
When Jared Verse was drafted, I was done. Like I was physically angry that Jared Verse was not there when the Lions picked. When them damn Los Angeles Rams, and that made me hate Stafford even more. That made me hate Kelly even more. I wanted to boo the children. I just hated everything about the Los Angeles Rams at that point in time. It wasn't fair. They just got rid of Aaron Donald. Now they got the freaking defensive rookie of the year. And I knew he was going to be that. I knew he was. Right. So at that time, I was done with the draft. I didn't care. I threw my hat. you know, at the time I was wearing the chef's hat. I threw it. Just I didn't want to. I had to go somewhere, so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna get up and go. Don't care like at the when where were we picking? Were we picking 28th again? 29th, something like that?
Yeah, 29th.
Okay. At that point, I wasn't staying to the 29th pick. I was shutting the stream down. I didn't care. And then when he got picked, because I was getting ready and I came out and I saw that they had traded up with the Cowboys and they were picking 24th. I was just like, all right, let me see who they get. Because I think Quinyon went 22nd to the Eagles.
Yeah, let me see. Actually, I don't know when he was drafted.
Yeah, I think he went like 3 picks after Jared Verse.
Man, I wanted Jared Verse bad.
Yeah. No, you don't even have to pause on that.
Yeah, he was the yeah, exactly. He was Quinyon was the 22nd. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
So I came out, I saw that the Eagles had picked him. I was like, oh well, that's another one. Like, all right, well, maybe we could still get Quinyon. Nope. So then they picked Terrion, and I was like, bruh, I didn't even know how to feel. I didn't even care. Like, I honestly didn't care. I was done with the draft. So I was just like, congratulations, welcome to Detroit, I guess. And when he took the microphone and you got a star, I couldn't get into it. I wasn't, I'm happy he's excited about being in Detroit. That's great. I will say, as you said, he was in phase. He does have really sticky coverage. There's a couple of things that he needs to work on. He needs to work on trusting his technique first and foremost. I think with a full offseason, he'll be able to do that, and then just getting his head around. If he's able to get his head around, he's in position enough where he'll be able to bat some balls and get some picks. So I think that his second season will be much better than his first. He also talks too much to not get better.
Yeah, that's the thing that I think that's why he gets so much hate, because he's so much more out there. And when you're
Yes.
like that, you don't have production. You're an easy target.
Yes. So my grade is gonna be an NA.
Oh, come on. You make me do a grade, now you go NA.
All right, I won't do that. I won't do that. You know, what I'm saying? I got the red pen in my hand and everything. I just slipped back in my teacher bag. So a C minus, yeah, C minus. Is that fair, chat? Didn't you gave it a C minus as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So
Yeah.
we're in lockstep. We give it a C minus. You know, we got to see how he develops. I'm not down on, because this will come back, right?
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
not.
It's a rookie grade. It's not a like this is what he is or anything like that. It's
Yeah,
a grade off his rookie performance.
yeah, and I'm not necessarily down on his rookie performance. I mean, because you saw he had a very tall task. You know what I'm saying? He was on a lot of number one receivers a lot. He was the most man coverage snaps in the entire NFL. Like, he had a tall task. They threw him into the fire, and I think he's going to be that much better for it next season. Um, but my grade is mostly based off of all the other circumstances. That when he came here, I was really very nonchalant and didn't really care about the pick too much. So, all right, the next pick, the Detroit Lions chose Ennis Rakestraw.
Now this one, if you gave an A, it would be fair because we didn't see him.
Right.
You know. So like this one's an A. I'm not even gonna begin to try to grade him because you just didn't see him. We didn't see enough qualified snaps to even have a sufficient take. Yeah, no, I'm going NA.
All right. So here's the perplexing part about this pick. There are a lot of people that are mad that we didn't get Cooper DeJean because we saw what he did in the Super Bowl. We saw what he did throughout the year, but then he had the pick six in the Super Bowl and all that. But then those are the same people that believe that Brad Holmes loves his draft picks and he would never trade them. We picked Ennis Rakestraw number 61.
Mm-hmm.
Cooper DeJean went number 40. That's 21 picks that you would have had to go up to get Cooper DeJean. So what were we going to give up to go up and get him?
Yeah, no, we weren't going up to get Cooper DeJean. We ain't gonna.
You know what I'm saying? That was like almost the top of the second round. And we picked at the very bottom of it. So that's where I'm at on that one. It's like, y'all have to be a little bit more consistent. You say that Brad Holmes will never give up draft picks, but he moves up and down the draft board every single freaking year. He trades draft picks all the time.
That's fair.
He does it in the draft, but he trades the draft picks.
The thing too with Cooper though is like he also played like nickel.
Yes,
and like we had that
right.
both in Amik and obviously Branch moved back to safety, but that was gonna be a for sure thing until we found out in camp, and he was hurt during camp. So it's like I can't blame Brad for the Cooper DeJean situation at all.
Right.
Like, and who's to say the Eagles were even gonna give that pick up?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
They needed it. So
I'm not killing him on that one. I'm also just gonna go ahead and give him an NA. But actually, you know what? I can initially give this a lower grade. Actually, I can initially give. I'm just gonna say for the initial draft pick, I will give it a D minus. And the reason is because when they were talking about drafting him, I was looking at his injury history and I was like, I don't want this guy because he all these soft tissue injuries, those are the bad ones. He missed.
I wasn't a fan of his injury history either.
Yeah, he missed the pre-draft process with the core muscle surgery and all that other stuff. So didn't want him. I really didn't want him in the first round because he was being mocked to us in the first round. I was like, no, that's crazy. That's crazy. But so initially I'll just give it a D minus because the pick, but hopefully he will do something next year and warrant a higher grade. So as a rookie, your grades can change because you're not who you're going to be. So, all right. What was the next pick? Was it
Sione Vaki
Vaki?
or no? It was Gio. I don't know. It might have been Vaki.
Was it Manu or Vaki? Anyway, uh, we'll go with Vaki.
He was almost a special teams Pro Bowler, and I didn't even know that until the other day. So, oh, I'm not no fuck F it. I'm gonna give it a B plus. I think
A
he
B
still could
plus.
develop. Yeah, just as a rookie grade. I think he's drafted more as a special teamer with the hopes of developing into a running back, and that was your expectation when drafting him. Then he fulfilled that because he damn near almost made the Pro Bowl. He literally, there's that one play I believe it was against the Texans where he tackled two guys at once. You remember that?
Yes.
Yeah, so I got to go B plus. I would even have someone said A, to be honest with you.
I don't know if I can give it an A. I was very high on Sione Vaki coming into the draft. I did think that we would see him at safety. I thought it was kind of strange when they said no, they're drafting him to be a running back. So I mean, I'll give it a B. You know,
Yeah.
if he was the full time punt returner or something, consistent. But he was a third, fourth rounder. And here's the other. We'll have this discussion, I guess, when we're talking about draft picks. But the third, the fourth rounder is not someone that you are. They got to perform today. You know what I'm saying? We drafted, he better be ready to go. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'll stick with the B. Ronan 99 says B plus. Tactical Sports Vaki C plus. J Rod says Vaki gets a D. He was not impressed.
I'd ask J Rod to go look up that tackle and be mindful that he was doing that all season.
Yeah, the Ronan 99 says it was hard to find space for him in the offense. He was drafted for his versatility. Right.
Yeah, that late in the draft, you're talking about fourth round, third, like you're drafting special teamers with the hopes they could develop into whatever position they got drafted at, and he played special teams very well. And obviously, we got to see what he becomes as a running back. But that late in the draft, you're a special teamer, and he did his job well.
Yeah, they might need to move him to safety because Jameer Gibbs, you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. All right, Manu.
I mean that's another NC. I hate it, and I'm gonna keep it a buck. And if he ends up being a stud, whatever. I mean, I'll take my L on that one for sure. And I've heard Penei say that he's more athletic than him, and all that other good stuff like that too. But a guy that didn't dress a single game, a guy that I feel like really could have played the Dan Skipper role because he's uber athletic. I hated that you gave up a third round pick to draft in the fourth round. That is crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just wild to me. I'll that will never sit well with me. Um, so but I know what he was drafted as a project, so you weren't going to see him at all, and all that other good stuff like that. But I feel like at least in a limited, like he was tailor made for the Dan Skipper role. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I want to say non-complete, but I'm gonna say non-complete. Let me relax. Let me calm down. I could go D if I really wanted to, but like, what was the realistic expectation with the pick? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I want to be careful with what I'm saying here. I don't. In tactical, you're gonna love this. I don't want to see Broderick Martin's and Manu's. Actually, let me ask you a question. It's just think about it. Just think about this question I'm asking you. If you were supposed to have dinner with Manu or any member of the Detroit Lions, how sick would you have to be to call that off?
I wouldn't. I'd have to be sick, like poop in my pants, sick.
Okay, all right. Because I know a guy that claimed to have an appointment with Manu at a restaurant and said that they were too sick to go.
Why'd they call off?
I believe they were lying.
Oh,
because
why were they? Why were they even meeting for real?
Those types of people lie a lot. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
you know, they lie a lot.
I got a feeling I know what you're talking about. And hell yeah,
yeah. So back to what I was saying. I need to. I like Manu, Broderick. Just stop drafting those guys, man. Like and I hope I'm wrong. Okay, I hope I'm wrong, but especially now that we had this season that we had, right? And we need all types of depth. In this draft, I don't want to see a Manu. I don't want to see a Broderick Martin. I want to see people who you're not going to be a starter in the 5th, 6th, 7th round, but you got Mahogany in the 6th round. You got Rodrigo in the 6th round. You got, I think Vaki was in the 4th, the 3rd or the 4th, whatever. So you're getting people that can contribute to your team right away. You got freaking Wingo. Was he 6th or 7th round?
I think he was 6. No,
okay.
He was 7th. I think he was
7.
The last pick. He might have been 6, but he was our last pick.
Okay. So you got him with your last pick, and everyone was loving him until the injury. So because of from now on, this type of pick is gonna be an F for me, unless and he could turn into a Dan Skipper, and he could, but just based off of what we needed, like you could have drafted a defensive player so we wouldn't have had to see Ezekiel Turner running around out there. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna give it an F.
You gotta go non-complete, man. We ain't see him.
I'm gonna give it an F. I'm giving the pick an F. Like the pick in itself, I'm giving that an F. Manu as a player, I'm not giving him an F. Right? He's a non-complete as a prospect, but the pick, just because we're doing this in review, right? It's in hindsight. So in hindsight, that was a terrible pick because we could have used someone that on defense that could have contributed. So maybe we wouldn't have had to bring in a Kawan Alexander or a Jamal Adams or an Ezekiel Turner. Maybe one of those people wouldn't have had to be brought in, namely Ezekiel Turner. Right?
I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm grading off like my expectations for the pick, and then it's like rookie year. But I definitely hated the fact they gave up a 3rd round pick to go and draft somebody in the 4th round. Like that makes zero sense on God's green earth.
Right. So you could have drafted someone in the 3rd round that could have helped you on defense. Mm-hmm. That's all I'm saying. So that's why I'm giving the pick an F. The player, we'll see what happens with him. He's a non-complete, just like Ennis Rakestraw is the same. But the pick in itself, using the 3rd round pick to draft in the 4th round, didn't make any sense to me. So yeah, I'm giving that pick an F. Tactical Sports says everybody knows who you're talking about. Yeah, I'm just saying.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I don't know. They probably clown. I don't know. I shouldn't say
Yeah,
that.
big clown energy. Uh, it's time for the only energy that guy can give. It's time for big clown energy. All right. What was the next pick? We did Manu. Was Mahogany our next pick?
Mahogany was Mahogany was the next pick. That's an A+. I love
All
that
right.
pick the moment it happened, man. I I was drafting him in the third round in my mocks.
Mm-hmm.
So like to see him in the six and then to grab him in the six was, I mean, that was chef's kiss. And then he had the mononucleosis that I only knew as mono before I met Chase. And but I guess the reason why he fell in the draft is one leg is longer than the other.
Mm-hmm.
You can see it when he walks, but you can't tell when he plays.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he wasn't going to play differently with the one leg longer than the other. Like if he was a dog in college and you're like, well, I see him playing football. He looks pretty good at it. That leg being longer than the other is going to really hinder him in the NFL. That one I didn't understand. Um, if it's a speed thing, like Princely, right? he's beaten these college defensive linemen around the edge with a not really fast first step. He's not going to be able to do that against the Penei Sewells and the Trent Williams and the upper echelon NFL players. So that's something that I could see being different. But yeah, I'll give it an A+ as well. We're talking about, do you resign Zeitler and move Glasgow to the bench, or if you don't resign Zeitler, you're good because you have Christian Mahogany. So I think that was a knocking out of the park. Picking a starter in the 6th round is wild. But Brad Holmes does have a knack for being able to do that. But he often uses the 3rd round to pick projects, which is like, I just wish you would reverse those things and pick your projects in the 6th round and use your 3rd round to draft starters. Just food for thought. And the last pick was Mekhi Wingo.
I'm gonna give that one tough for the injury. I thought he definitely get a sack in before that happened. He's got like some of the quick. He's got one of the quickest get offs of that draft class. I was really hoping Terrell Williams would be able to mold him into something, but now we got Casey Rogers, who worked with Kalijah Cansey, and so I still have hope in that guy. But his rookie performance, I'll probably go C plus. I go C. No plus. Take the plus off.
When they made the pick, I didn't really know much about him. I think I had stopped watching the draft by this point. So when they made the pick, I didn't really know much about him. I did see some things about, the type of player that he was at LSU. And then there were obviously the Aaron Donald comparisons for whatever reason, which, that's what people do. So, I'll stay with a C on that one. But I think he did show a lot of promise. It's just that, he was injured. So,
yeah.
The Ronin 99 says Wingo is a B+ for his potential.
Yeah, I guess we drafting on potential. We changed some of the grades I had. I was just drafting off of like the rookie year and their expectation. But if I threw potential there, I'd probably change to a C+ maybe. I don't know. A couple of those guys would change.
Yeah, maybe Manu will change next year. Maybe he won't be. Did I give him an F or a D-?
Yeah, you gave him an F. No, yeah, you gave him an F.
Okay, all right.
Don't try
He's,
running
no, it's fine. I just
that.
want to make sure. I'll stand on business.
When
F.
he out there looking like Penei, just remember you gave him the F. You know, that's all. That's all I'm saying. I'm a screen record this episode.
That's fine. And you know what? But I'm one of those people that will tell you I was wrong. You know, but to this point, I just haven't been right. You know, so I just because I don't give hot takes. A lot of people give hot takes. I just don't. You know. All right. So, what is your expectation for this off season?
Man,
And tactical, I didn't do Zadarius Smith. I know you asked about Zadarius Smith. I didn't do that because that was an in-season acquisition. We were just talking about the off-season acquisition. So,
that's fair.
So what is your expectation for this off season?
I'd give Zadarius a B. But expectations this offseason, man, it's gonna be wild. It's probably gonna be the craziest offseason in a minute, just because we're so close to actually like completing the process of winning the Super Bowl, and there's still work that need to be done to do so. Kevin Zeitler's a free agent, so you're missing a starting guard. You could easily plug Mahogany there, I guess, sure, but like it'd be nicer to have Mahogany and Zeitler. So I guess not necessarily a need, but I would prioritize it. Number one priority for me outside of like any type of trade or anything like that for a defensive end would be Carlton Davis, and then Kevin Zeitler, and then I start flirting around with some of these other names. Expectations: they are going to offer Hutch a contract. We might not even hear about it, but it won't be a whole decked out contract because of the leg injury, so we might deny it, which would hurt our odds of getting Myles Garrett and or somebody of that caliber, because Hutch will then have a 5th-year option worth $23 million, which ain't gonna help us out next year. And I guess the determining the offseason, really you have to see what they do with Carlton Davis and Zeitler, because we got to know how much money we have to play with, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But they probably just don't do anything different. Keep it the same. Am I disappointed in that? A little bit, yes. But probably re-signing their own and drafting guys and praying one of those guys happens to be a stud opposite Aidan Hutchinson. I don't have big expectations for this offseason, man. I really don't.
Yeah.
I really wish I could say something sexy, but I just don't believe in it. If I did, you know.
My expectations for this offseason is to just I expect Brad to do the same to the defensive line that he did to the secondary last season. Like I expect him to either trade because somebody picked up the phone and called about Brad Holmes, and a player said that or not about Brad Holmes. Brad Holmes picked up the phone and called about Myles Garrett, and then there was a player that said this, but whatever. I think all of the other 31 GMs have picked up the phone and called about Myles Garrett.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was like, yeah, my source said that the Lions called. Yeah, everybody's
Yes.
called.
Yeah,
You're
everyone.
not doing your job if you're not making the call.
If you're not calling, you should be fired. I'm just saying.
Honestly, you should be fired.
So my expectation, bro, is just we gotta get this defensive line fixed, man. I'm tired of looking at my defense going, I wish that with all the talent that we have on defense, I just have a feeling that someone else's defense is better. For instance, this year, I just felt that Philly's defense was better. Why did I feel that Philly's defense was better? Because up front, they are much better than us. Right? Even when we have the pieces, like we had an Aleem McNeil, we had a DJ Reader, we had Hutch. Then we get old bargain bin over there. Old bargain bin face us. You know what I'm saying? And Marcus Davenport. Oh, can't stay healthy face us. And then what happens?
You didn't say
He gets injured. and then Hutch gets injured, and then Aleem gets injured, and we're left with DJ Reader and a bunch of guys.
Yeah,
You know,
I'm just ready to complete the process rather than praying on it. You know what I'm saying? Like just like go out there and confirm it.
yes,
And if something happens, something happens. Like this year, a lot of stuff happened, but that's not the norm. That ain't gonna be every single season. So just complete the process so you don't have to pray on it. That's all I gotta say, man. Just go get someone, man. If it's a
go get
draft,
Miles
like
Garrett.
he ain't getting Miles Garrett.
Go get him,
I don't know if Miles Garrett wants to come here.
bro. Then F Miles Garrett, then man.
I know,
It's
man.
like,
They asked him about the Eagles. He's like, yeah, that'd be awesome. You asked him about the
mhm.
Commanders. Yeah, I'm down for that. And they got asked for the Lions. He's like, yeah, I haven't thought about that yet. Like what?
I, I I don't understand that, right? Because you would go to the Eagles. Why? Because they just won the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Okay, so you just ring chasing at this point.
he's for sure. That's what. Yeah, that's what he's doing. He said it.
But
He
but
said he
that's
wants to win a Super Bowl. He don't
but
care.
you don't that doesn't mean you have to go to the freaking defending champs.
I mean, you saw the Mina Kimes clip, right?
Yes.
I don't know if he's a believer in our boy.
Listen,
That.
listen,
I think that's really what it is.
listen.
Because I mean the you being on the same defensive line as Hutch
Exactly.
that makes all the damn sense in the world. But I mean there is another side of the ball. It's got to operate. He's been a part of it.
Exactly. But here's the thing. As Neil says, based on what? Are you basing it off of this playoff performance? Because when we were in the NFC Championship game last year, it wasn't Jared Goff's fault. Jared Goff didn't turn the ball over in the NFC Championship game. Jared
I
Goff
mean,
threw perfect passes to
if
Josh Reynolds, who dropped them.
we're using Neil's logic, then yeah, we would have to blame Jared Goff. But I'm not one to use Neil's logic.
No, I'm just saying based on what? Like what is he basing his I don't trust JG on? Is it for this just the Commanders game? Because we were 12-5 last season and went to the NFC Championship game. We were
I
15
don't
and
think
2 this
it's
season.
no. It can't be just one game. It's definitely just he don't trust game managers. Just listen to what he said. He said, yeah, you want a good game manager and a really good defense and stuff like but you gotta have a good
Yeah, but he
quarterback.
was talking about Trent Dilfer. You don't think
No, he was talking about game managers. We have a game manager.
he
Eh, eh,
said that there's been like game managers that could win with an excellent defense. That's Trent Dilfer. That's who he was talking about.
He's talking about game managers. That's what he said.
But the example that he gave screamed Trent Dilfer.
But
Would you consider Kurt Warner a game manager?
no, not really. Kurt can make plays outside the structure. I was also fairly young too when Kurt was doing this thing.
I feel like Kurt Warner,
Don't do that.
statuesque quarterback,
Don't do
not
that.
scrambling too much.
Kurt ran.
Kurt ran like Jared Goff runs.
No, Kurt ran.
Kurt ran like Matthew Stafford runs. There wasn't a whole lot of wiggle in that.
A little bit
Kurt,
more on both guys.
you thinking Kurt was like Steve Young? Nah, bruh. Steve Young, without getting into specifics, was what you would call a unicorn back in the day.
I see what you
Okay, that's what I'm saying. So there wasn't a whole lot of wiggle with Warner.
Yeah, I don't think he has a preference for game managers from just based on what he said. I mean, he literally said it.
I mean,
but it's not like necessarily opposed. But I'm just going off the things that he says. Don't sound like we're on his list,
His quarterback. He said they both got more wiggle than Goff. Okay, how much more wiggle, bro? Like Kurt Warner ran a 4.7. What? Goff runs a 4.72. Come on now. There was it wasn't that big of a difference. I mean, his current quarterback's not a game manager.
Who, Deshaun
He's
Watson?
supposed, yeah, he's supposed to be,
Deshaun Watson's dead. That's his corpse over there. They don't count as Deshaun Watson. I don't know
Two.
who that is. That is one of the craziest fall offs of all time. I mean, I
Hey,
get it
man.
because he did a lot of BS, and to be honest with you, they
Mhm.
didn't necessarily win all the time either. That was kind of crazy. Like I didn't really get it. Um, but for him to fall off as hard as he did, though, crazy. Like he is terrible.
Well, I mean, his mental is completely gone because now everybody knows his secrets. It's like what happened to Tiger Woods. Everybody knew his secret. Tiger Woo, I like him, right? you
Yeah.
know, so everybody knows your secrets. They know that you're a freak now, and people are looking at you differently. So you walk into a room and people are turning and whispering. They're not going, "Hey, is that Deshaun Watson?" Like they
Oh,
used to. No, they're like, "Oh, snap."
you might as well be an open freak. Jimmy Garoppolo was dating porn stars. You might as well just do the whole damn. So was Gronk. Just commit to the bit.
Hey, the problem is he couldn't commit to it because it came out as in a lawsuit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Don't get your masseuse off Instagram. That's the biggest lesson for that.
Well, get an actual masseuse off Instagram if you're getting one off of Instagram, like
Yeah.
an actual one that.
If anybody doesn't know, he was hiring prostitutes. They weren't masseuse. They were prostitutes.
Yeah, right.
And then they
So
tried to get the bag off him.
yeah, that's true. So, but you got to put your money where your mouth is sometimes, and
Hey, yo, I'm playing. He kind of did that. I don't know.
I don't know, man. Okay, if Miles Garrett doesn't come here, you know, as you've talked about the Max Crosby thing, I don't know, and the last time I talked about when you didn't come when you stiffed me, pause. Uh, so I had to switch it up. So I was talking about the Max Crosby stuff, and it's just crazy, man, how we're just latching on to anything and everything Max Crosby. It's just like, dude, he ain't. When they tell me he's available, I'll believe he's available. Because every time he says something, yeah, I want to be a Raider for life. Okay.
Yeah.
When that stance changes, then the stance changes.
With
Hold on one second.
I'm just filling the space because he's getting yelled at by his wife. Look at him.
It's raining, and I'm trying to yell to my daughter to tell her to close the back door because it'll come in the back door. Hold on, I'll just go close the door.
See,
One
yep,
second.
he's getting yelled at. Nope, he's
No, I'm
lying.
not. My wife's
Yeah.
not even here.
About to start hearing the belt sound soon. Mama, no, Mama, no. No, I'm playing. I'll read some of these comments. Now that I'm done driving, will you take my comment down? 10 minutes and counting. I am going to have to start charging you. J-Rod. Take the comment down or read the comment? Let me scroll up. Maybe he doesn't want it to be read. Maybe he wants. Oh, he says Warner did have to run. Yeah, Warner ran. When he had to. At least that's what I remember him from. But again, I said earlier I was younger too, so I couldn't really speak on it too. The way I can speak on games now, I can't speak on it on Warner's whole career. I remember Warner more so as a Cardinal than a Ram.
I don't see. Warner could sling it, and Warner had all the weapons just like Jared Goff does.
Hmm.
He had the receivers and he had the running back.
Yeah.
And he had the offensive coordinator and Mike Martz, who was dialing up everything. Now, I would say that he threw a better deep ball than Goff. I would say that for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're not dissimilar. He wasn't a Randall Cunningham out there.
So you just saying they both white?
I didn't
That's all
say
you.
that. They're both quarterbacks.
That's great. No,
They're both quarterbacks who played for the Rams.
there you go.
That's why I'm comparing those two guys.
Even if that's the thing, I wonder if they had that conversation, or like, I hope his agent has that conversation, because even if you view JG as a game manager, like he's still like a prime spot to produce in here in Detroit. Like I don't know how much. Like I know that obviously Ben did a lot, but like you cannot. There's no way this offense is going to be bad. You know what I'm saying? Like it's still going to be a very productive offense. Like I just don't even see why he would let that slow him up, because him and Hutch would automatically, even if he thought the offense took a step back, him and Hutch and the defense together will recalibrate that step, maybe even jump over it.
I see. My thing with Goff is there's this in his evolution, because I'm one of those people, and you're one of the people that is, you feel like you're allowed to change your opinion on something when you see that thing is changing.
Yeah.
Right. So my thing with Goff, the last step in his evolution is just, again, and I keep saying it, punches and bunches. Just remove that aspect of your game. Throw one interception. Don't throw multiple ones. You know what I mean? Like turn the ball over once. Don't turn it over a bunch of times. Like the Avalanches and we need to stop seeing those Texans games and those Commanders games. Right? Once he does that, because he has the weapons, he has the stats. Remember when Trevor Sycamore made up that BS about what was the stat that he made up? I don't remember, but it was like tight window throws down, 20 yards down the field. And I'm looking at freaking Jared Goff throw balls into tight windows, like balls that you're like, no. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Like he will throw the ball into tight windows. So I think he can make all of the throws. He doesn't have the strongest arm. Can he get it 50 yards in the air downfield to JMO? Yeah, he can.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the last thing for me with Goff is just, okay, maybe he's not a big scrambler, but he was getting his vanilla Vic on this season. He was scrambling for 7, 8, 9, 10 yards, getting first downs, 3rd and 2, rolling out, running for the first down. He's never going to be a Lamar Jackson. He's never going to be a Josh Allen. He's not that type of athlete, but the one thing that he just needs to do is to get out of his head after he turns the ball over once. And I think with the team and the coaching changes that they've made and all this is geared to doing that, to running the ball. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I don't look at Goff as someone that we can't win with. I don't look at him as someone who jeopardizes your chances of winning. The only way I look at that is the Avalanches. Once we see that those are not a thing anymore, like we go through next season and he goes all the way up throughout the season. Yeah, maybe he threw a pick in this game. Maybe he threw a pick in that game. But he didn't throw multiple picks. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, you got some multiple pick games.
No, I'm saying if we go through next season and say, yeah, he threw one here, he threw one there, he threw one in this game, whatever. Right? Even if it's 7 games that he throws a pick.
Oh, you're saying if he stops doing that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can deal with one. Especially if we upgrade our defense. And that's the thing. We upgrade our defense. If we don't have all the, everybody on defense on the IR, then I don't think he's pressing. You know what I mean? So if I feel like maybe he feels like, okay, everything is on his shoulders, especially in the playoff game. I don't know what that was.
That's a bad game.
So everything is on my shoulders. I gotta press. I just turned the ball over, so now I can't turn the ball over again. and then I turn the ball over again. You know what I'm saying? So that's
Yeah.
it. That is it. That is the final step in the evolution of Jared Goff. Once he's able to do that, then, you know, would you say, yeah, you can say he's better than Matt Stafford in Detroit. I mean, Matt Stafford never won anything here. Is he going to have the arm that Matt Stafford has? No. But Matt Stafford also in Detroit had a turnover problem.
Yeah, Stafford's arm got him in trouble.
Yeah, he threw the pick six in the time which he didn't need the pick six for. You know what I'm saying? They're like, you know, that season, go back to that season where they're like, oh, he set the record with the most fourth quarter comebacks. Dude, we were 8-8 that season.
I just wish we had the coaching. I wish Stafford had a Ben Johnson. That team was not, it was bad.
You know what?
I mean, when Stafford got Sean McVay, he won a ring. You know?
Yeah, because he had the defense. In 2014, he had everything that he needed.
Yeah.
That was him. And that's what I tell people. On the last drive of the game, in the playoff game in Dallas, he turned the ball over twice in one drive. He threw a pick that they fumbled during the return. We recovered it. And then he got strip sacked. We had an opportunity to win that game. He lost it for us, not the defense.
Yep.
You know, so, and then if you look when Jim Caldwell came in, what did he do? He took the ball out of Matthew Stafford's hands.
I took I blacked out the freaking Dallas game. But I definitely know we had opportunities to score. We didn't.
Yeah, we did. And guess who else did that? Guess who else came in and took the ball out of their quarterback's hands?
Who?
Jim Harbaugh.
Yep. He did it with
Justin Herbert.
Yep.
And that's why I say Justin Herbert is Matthew Stafford in Detroit until he shows me otherwise.
Yep. And he don't got no excuse now, too, because Jim Harbaugh's a damn good coach. So.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously this year they had to figure out that receiver situation. And I mean, they should get it this year. I think they should get that running back, too, for real, though. I ain't gonna lie.
Who, Genty?
Shoot, that'd be crazy, actually.
I don't know what Genty's going to be in the NFL.
I don't know either.
Because we know when he got up to the bowl games and he's got some, you know, more SEC type of competition, he didn't really get many yards.
Yeah. But to be fair, too, like, everything around him wasn't matched with that.
Yeah. I guess, you know, like Devon Achane has had success, so they're similar size.
I have to look into that. But
So,
I got cut out these clips, man.
yeah, all good.
I
I'm
hate
about to go ahead.
Fridays.
Yeah, cutting up clips is, you know, sometimes it's annoying.
Yeah. Let's quit crying.
So I did tell the people Mondays.
Monday night.
Yes. So Monday night, I will be live streaming on LNU. I'm in the process of trying to figure out if I can actually just go live on both channels.
I'll talk to her.
So you know how to do that?
Yeah. I think so.
All right.
I mean, I know it can be done, so we can figure it out.
Yeah, so that way we get both of the audiences. I can address both of the chats, and then people will think I'm bigger time than I am. Like, this dude got 2 chats. Yeah, that's right. That's how I get it in.
Well, I appreciate you having me, man. Thank you.
I appreciate you for coming through, man. Once again, everybody, that is easy. You know where to find them. Woodward Heavyweights, Monday through Fridays, 5 to 7 on Woodward Sports YouTube channel. You can find me here. And like we said, Monday is going to be something different. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully, I'll be able to just still come on here on Mondays. That way I can keep my my YouTube algorithm satisfied. If not, I'll just cut up the clips and, and put them over here on Mondays. All right. I appreciate you, Easy, and we will get with you later, man.
I'll see you, brother.
All right. Peace out. All righty. Let's get some of this chat going on, some of this chatter. See what y'all are talking about. Did I miss anything? Let's see. Oh, we're Goff. So we got some Goff talk. Goff is the same QB that lost 13 games. He's not. He's not. He's not. Come on. Stafford will fall on the ball really fast if it's not there. Goff tries too hard sometimes and throws a ball that shouldn't be thrown or gets strip sacked. And that's a part of the evolution that he's got to realize. You know, listen, remember when he first came here and it would be fourth down and he would run around in the backfield and take a sack, or it would be like third down and he would run around and like step out of bounds 9 yards in the backfield. You know, like, so he's not doing stuff like that anymore. So he just needs to complete the process. It's like making a catch. He needs to complete the process of the mental stuff. That's all. You know, does he have the ability to make the throws? Yes, he does. Does he have the ability to move around in the pocket? Yes, he does. You know, can he do a lot of great things that quarterbacks can do? Yes. It's just inside of his head. That's where it's the deficiency. When, yes, maybe he's trying to do too much, or maybe he's, you know, I don't know, you know, but that's just the one thing that he needs to get there. Corey Patterson says Stafford definitely didn't have teams like this. That 2014 team, pretty good. Pretty damn good, if you ask me. Goff is not amongst the most sacked quarterbacks in the NFL. I would say that. Caleb Williams, who has more tools athletically than Goff, gets sacked a whole lot more. I was also told that it's my man AG's fault that the Lions got beat by the Commandos. I don't know who told you that. I do understand where it comes from. We couldn't really stop them, but had you going up 14-3, when we did stop them early on, we stopped them from getting their a touchdown on their first drive, and we were going to go up 14-3, and the game would have been over, just like what happened in Philly. Bring Herbert here. Based on what, J-Rod? Based on what? That's my question to you. Let's have that conversation. Based on what? Herbert does not win. This is my thing. This is what I'm saying. Like, Herbert's got all the physical tools, but for some reason he doesn't win. He was up 28-0 in a playoff game versus Trevor Lawrence and lost. Couldn't score 3 points in the second half. That's not coaching. That's a player as a quarterback. Like, I'm a goddamn get 3 points, goddamn. You know what I'm saying? Goddamn. I'm gonna get 3 points, goddamn. That's what 3 points in 30 minutes of football. Are you supposed to be a top 5 quarterback or whatever, or top tier? Maybe not top 5, but you're supposed to be top tier, and you can't get 3 points. You can't drive us down to get 3 points in a half. No, sir. Corey Patterson says, who did AG have to work with? Very good point. Because your CB1 got his arm broken by your LB2. J Rod says security guards here, throw this uniform on. Big time. Let's see. Oh, I know who it came from. Oh, the AG thing. That dude's a bum. Corey Patterson, that's incorrect. Goff did not have that team. They added pieces. That's where the F them picks thing came from. That wasn't the same roster that Goff had. I just saw Levis. I don't know what's happening. I didn't say Harbaugh was throwing him out. I said he took the ball out of his hands. That's what Jim Caldwell did when he came to Detroit because Matthew Stafford had a propensity for turning the ball over. So he took the ball out of his hands, right? Justin Herbert, same thing. So Jim Harbaugh, okay, both of them guys were Jim, right? The Jim coaches take the ball out of hands. Jim Harbaugh took the ball out of his hands and leaned heavily on the running game. Need to get more athletic in the linebacker room. True, but we also need to get complete up front. If we have a complete defensive line up front, we can I think if you bring back Derek Barnes, like let's say this, trade for Myles Garrett, bring back Derek Barnes, we good? That's my question. I think Derek Barnes is athletic enough, especially if you have a Myles Garrett, or even if you draft someone that turns out to be dominant. You know, even if you draft a guy that turns out to be dominant, that is what that is. Corey Patterson says pass rush, period. We have half of a pass rush. His name is Hutch. We need the other half. we need the other half of the pass rush. Because you see, nobody, Hutch played what, 5 games, had 7.5 sacks, and nobody else had more than that for 17 games. I mean, who played for 17 games though, really? So look, you can't take the football out of your QB's hands in the NFL. It's his job to win the game. Well, that's why they took it out of his hands, because he was having a hard time winning the game. So you cannot win the game with the ball in your hands if you're going to turn it over. That's just not what happens. DeMarcus Lawrence is possible. No, nobody's asking Pat O'Connor, dude, to be a starter on this defense. He was simply a depth piece that was doing okay. That's all. That's all. You're not rolling into the season with him. Well, I don't know. Would you rather, use the picks on the D line or use them on the linebackers? They weren't high tops, they were cleats. No, J-Rod, that's not what happened. Don't need much on the offense. We definitely don't need much on the offense. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, man. This dude says stilettos. Not at all. All right, y'all. Appreciate you once again. Motor City Cats back at it. Came to give you stats, not static. Whatever you do, make sure you keep your lines news pragmatic. And we are out of here. Peace.